So 92, 93, that's the sixth grade school year, right? And like I said before, 93 January, my little brother's been born. Now they're twins. So like I said, my mama whooped my ass because by April, they sometime during the spring break, they had my little brothers. Matter of fact, this might have been after spring break. I can't remember. But I know they had my little brother's christening. And that's after I done did the shit and balled my head and not listen to the older niggas who tell me not to fall off them other older niggas who been young niggas. You know what I said? But anyway, so that's 93, right? So leading on, going into summer, it just been so much going on. Like I've been getting into trouble, and mind you, I in the village a lot. My mama living on Amherst now. People riding past, seeing me sitting on Ernie's corner. They had this little box on the corner of Ernie's. We used to all sit right there, you know what I mean? People telling my mama, like, no, I know he be at Roundhouse, but no, that boy's sitting on the corner now. And you know I young as a bitch. So my old lady but like, nah, she been gonna move out the city. So my old lady ended up moving on the island, the Briar Green Apartments, right around the corner from Fleming Road. So that's how I know a lot of people off the island and the Fleming Road niggas and Sawgrass Apartments. And we used to go to fucking, what that shit been called? What was that? King's Pizza? No, I forget the name of that little spot. Like, and they had a little arcade over there, a pool hall. Man, listen, that little area been lit. The Low Wendy's been right there. The KFC. So again, I've been living in Briar Green, and so people from the island know what Briar Green at. Okay, so cool. So fast forward to seventh grade year to begin the seventh grade year, like that's like August '93, going back to school. And I'll never forget it because they had these Nikes that come out, them shit been hard as a bitch, like some flights, some white and black shit. I remember they had a couple colors, but I had the white and black ones. And I remember all the niggas in the hood, we were like, yo, we go meet up by the library. So we had meet up by that library. And I forget who all been out there, because I think a bunch of niggas off the hills, shit, even a couple niggas off the Babe, and a few else by the library. We end up going to school. So like during the year, I keep getting in trouble. I get in random fights. But the kicker will fuck me up. I get into a fight with Keon. Not God bless the dead, low Keon off the bed. That's my nigga. But the twin Keon Seabrook. And Keon my nigga nowadays too, you know what I mean? But, you know, back then, me and Keon were two kind of arrogant niggas. And he used to be getting us way. And, I guess I ain't been feeling that shit. Me and this nigga in our fighting in Miss Gambrell class. So I remember whenever we've been trying to get back to school after suspension, me, my mama, Keon and his daddy, all I spent in the office. I forget that lady. What that lady name was? Miss Elway at Rivers. I think the principal been that nigga Mr. Burke. I ain't know. I know Miss Elway. I remember that white lady, Miss Elway. I used to always be getting in trouble, dog. And I've been quiet. That's the funny shit. I've been a quiet nigga through school, but I used to always get in fights. So anyway, when they been trying to come back to school, I guess them boy realized that my mama done that move on the island. Though I've been so hurt, dog. Them boy made me had to transfer from Rivers in seventh grade. I did end up coming back in eighth grade, but I transferred to I've been to Fort Johnson on James Island. And that's another way I meet a lot of people I know off the island. I've been to school with them boys for the second half of seventh grade and a low maybe 2 or 3 months in eighth grade. But yeah, like I said, man, just used to always be some shit coming up, man. Like back in the day, man, so different, dog. Like, and so all right, so fast forward. So now in eighth grade, when I did end up coming back to the city, shit, niggas kind of pumping, like niggas who I grew up with really getting money for real now. And some of them already been hustling since sixth grade and shit like that. So you know how that shit go. Like, nah, nigga, back in the day, nigga used to go half on a half. Two niggas putting $25 a piece, get a $50 half a slab, or you buy a little 2 for 20 to shake something. And I ain't never been a stagnant nigga. Once I can see I can get some money one way, I trying to figure out how to get some more. So, that's when after school started turning into a low hustle. Now, mind you, plenty niggas been way ahead of me. You know what I mean? Plenty niggas, dog. But I will say this. after that 8th grade year right there, once we had started getting in the Burke and shit, I started leaning all the way in 9th grade year. You know what I mean? And that turned into the bunk era. Boy, in the bunk era, but the motherfucker. I about 14 years old when I spoke my first book. I fuck around and been in Burke hallway, and Curl been leaving school. Matter of fact, I been coming out the auditorium. That nigga been about to leave, dip through that little side gate we used to dip out through. Nigga been like, I going to meet Born and Lil Ernie. Now, mind you, I 14, this nigga Curl 15, Born might be 16, Ernie might be 17, some shit like that. So we going to Shep Willie Doghouse, right there across the street from Thad's Barbershop. Well, really, Thad's Barbershop in the Piggly Wiggly lot. Shep Willie Doghouse been where that car wash used to be at, where the barbecue place at now. Shep Willie Doghouse been right behind that. That been like a low crack house, you know what I mean? Dog, I had the weed. I used to sell the weed back then. So we get to the spot, and boy asked me if I had some weed. I think we about to smoke some reg. Shit, them nigga pull out the boom. Boy, them nigga pull out the stunky. Hey, listen. Boy, we smoked that shit, boy, I been high as a bitch. And I remember Lil Ernie tripping like, boy, that little nigga high as shit. Boy, y'all, that's little nigga high. They even telling them boy that, right? Curl tripping, Bone tripping, them boy laughing and shit. But I guess them boy was like, boy, you need to eat. So Bone or one of them niggas, I think Boneless called, order some pizza. You know what I mean? We had Pizza Hut and wings and shit. But our first experience with that boom, I talk about a nigga been sweating. I been sitting in the Chef house looking like Chris Rock. Remember Chris Rock was trying to fight that crack on New Jack City? Shit, I look like Chris Rock. Look ashy, sweating my ass off. And you know the funny shit, as bad as I feel, so at this point, all right, I did that living all more with my daddy and my grandmama from 95 to 99. So at that point, when everybody did that, gone home later that night, dog, even a nigga, I forget this nigga name, used to live down there in the hole, an older nigga, I've been like 14 then, that nigga might have been 25, but he used to come trap in my granny yard. So that nigga roll a boom. I said, God, that's man, let me hit that shit, I smoke boom. He said, man, I smoke heavy. And that's when I find out about heavy. So the first day I smoke a boom, I learned a lesson later about the heavy boom. Hey, dog, I ain't gonna lie. I had a hell of a life being around them older niggas, you know what I mean? Just learning shit. And dog, I ain't gonna lie, but that give me an advantage because, you know, I learned in the game, I learned in all this shit. To be real, I learned the game quicker than some of my older homeboys because I remember shit, we just all buying this little work. I remember when I found out them niggas up the road had to work for real, and I can't get into that. But I will say, but them niggas been giving it away. I said, God damn. And this in the era of back and B12 and blow up and all this shit, you know. But that, you know, that's a story for another time. You know, that story will never be told. But listen, dog, I'm telling you, we had a lot of times back then, dog. Like growing up, like now, these kids don't know how lucky they got it, nigga, because every week you been some shit. Either been some gangster shit, either been a major fall off, or either been something happened in your family. You know, when you been a kid, you can get dislocated, nigga. Your mama moved somewhere out of pocket. That's where you move at. If they send you somewhere else, like I said, I've been living in Almo, even though my grandmama been there all that time. Dog, I live in Almo from 95 to 99. And boy, when I tell you, hey, my grandmama's spot been the spot. Shit, I can grind in my hood during the day and late night. I gotta go to sleep to be to school in the morning. But guess what happened at that window? Tap, 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 tap. Let me get a 40. Tap, 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 tap. 60. Tap, 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 tap. I like, God damn, they tapping. I said, my old man said, boy, listen, we gotta stop this shit right there. Cause my old man, he right there with me thugging. Damn, dog, I ain't gonna lie. Them the good old days, man. But again, it's just the makings of who a nigga became, and them teenage years has just been a motherfucker, dog.